Sacramento, you guys, they put on hold the proposal to allow more cannabis dispensaries. That's right. A Sacramento City Council committee on Tuesday put on hold the proposal to increase the maximum number of cannabis dispensaries by half after current owners said the market is oversaturated, you guys. That's right. City staff recommended raising the cap from 40 to 60 to give more participants in the city's cannabis equity program opportunities to start their business. But the council's Law and Legislation Committee said Sacramento first needs to expand where dispensaries can be located. Sacramento's Cannabis Opportunity Reinvestment and Equity Program, CORE, helps people disproportionately affected by the war on drugs enter the legal cannabis industry, and participants include those who live or have lived in low-income Sacramento households and were or have family members who were arrested for cannabis-related charges. Crystal Nugs Dispensary and Delivery CEO Maisha Bahasti said it took her 2 years and 8 months to open her business, which has one of the 10 permits the city approved reserving for CORE participants in 2020. About 100 of more than 390 participants applied for the permits, according to a staff report, and many since then have asked the city for more storefront opportunities. In a quote, says, "I don't agree with the idea of releasing a bunch of licenses and letting the nature of the industry decide who sinks or swims," Bhatti said. In an additional quote, "Because that wasn't the mission of the CORE to let people sink. The goal was to give us the opportunity to succeed and create generational wealth." I would say you may be sold a mixed bag of goods, but nonetheless. Other cannabis business owners argued the city should focus on supporting existing CORE dispensaries instead of introducing more competition for customers. And out of 40 total authorized dispensaries, 36 are currently open in the city, according to a staff report. Council member Eric Guerrera said he knows some CORE participants might be ready to apply for permits, but he said he first wants the city to change its rules on where dispensaries can open. Current rules restrict dispensaries to certain commercial and industrial zones, and according to a staff analysis, most of these are located in District 2 and 6, which include North Sacramento, Tahoe Park, respectively. If the city approved the proposal to allow 20 more dispensaries before expanding where they can operate, Guerrera warned that landlords might hike rent prices because of high demand for limited spaces. In a quote, he says, "The zoning has to be done first so that we don't create an artificial market that gouges everyone we're trying to help out, both existing businesses and the applicants," Guerrera said. City staff are collecting community feedback to update land use policies for all cannabis business types, such as cultivation and manufacturing, and recommendations include allowing storefront dispensaries in more areas of the central city, especially near public transit. City staff plan to release a draft of those updated policies around November. And man, oh man, you guys, what do you think about this? Sacramento, they're saying, hey, you know what? We want to have more stores. But I think it is probably smart for them overall to fix their land use guidelines before allowing these shops to apply. But nonetheless, I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about this.
Yeah, they should definitely fix the land use first. It's really important to make sure if you're rolling out new regulations that are going to change where you can and cannot operate, they should address that before allowing others to operate. But once again, I've said it a million times, I feel for this woman, I understand, but social equity is not a guarantor of success. Social equity is a chance that keeps you from being prohibited to fail just like everyone else. Yes, the market's going to dictate who sinks or swims. Find a way, learn who your fucking consumers are, learn what you need to do to be successful. Just because you get a shop because you're social equity does not mean that you're going to win. There is still work that comes into play there. It is a hand up, not a hand out.
They should have done the zoning shit before they even offer these licenses.
I agree with that, Rico.
They put the cart before the horse.
I agree with that.
They got people's hopes up, and these people. This is just another iteration of the same thing that happened when social equity first popped off in the state. You got all these people's hopes up. You get them investing in a bunch of shit, and then all of a sudden, hurry up and wait, right? And so you're just costing more people money. And I say, open the damn market up. Period. And I can see the connection that you made earlier in the to California with my story, Jason, because Arizona completely manufactured their market and made sure that they didn't have situations like this. But I am of the total opposite mindset. I'm like, yo, like give as many people licenses as possible and let the best rise to the top.
Let them figure it out. Let the cream rise, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that.
Well, the problem is that the people that got in and had to invest all the money, and full disclosure, Maisha and Crystal Nugs are clients, so you know, all props to them. I love those people, especially Maisha. They've been doing a great job, but when you invest the money it takes to get up and running, and then you're barely operating on a margin you can pay your bills, you get a little uneasy when they're going to come in and just add a bunch more to it. Now, I'm a free market guy too, and they should have fixed this zoning thing a long time ago, but they started out with 30 that were the legacy. They drug them in, and now they're trying to figure out how to bring more in, and there's no place to turn where there's a successful avenue for the people up and running right now, and it's going to drop the prices. And there's a lot of other places in Sacramento where they could put these up. I mean, they got a liquor store in every goddamn corner. They could have these all over the place as long as they're away from schools. But they're going to have some infighting now because the people that are up and running, they have a vested interest not to want more to be added, take away from their bottom line. But that's just not a free market approach.
Right.
You have any thoughts about this, Rachelle? You were recently up in Sacramento for the state awards for the fair.
Yeah, I actually think they could use a couple more retail locations because there was an Embark a little south of town, and then there was a Nug close to downtown. But I mean, I had to drive 25 minutes from where I was staying to get to a dispensary. So.
And that's all because of land use. That's all because of land use requirements.
There it is.
And the county doesn't allow it. So you get right over the city limits in the county. You don't get any offers there. You've got to go for delivery. And most of the outlying regions don't allow it. So it's right there in Sacramento. And of course, when the county opens it up and the cities like Folsom and Roseville, places like that open up for Citrus Heights is looking at it, Rancho Cordova, a bunch of places looking to open them up. And it doesn't matter what the dispensaries in Sacramento want to say. Some other city's going to say, we want to have 4, 5, half a dozen here, 10 of them in our city. Now you've got the same competition you're complaining about now.
Agreed. We're going to roll into our next commercial, and we're going to be right back.